Thank you.
All set.
Are we all set?
All
Great.
set.
Well, let's actually start where we just began. We very much appreciate you inviting us to
Thank
spend
you.
2 days here. And you did tell us that you thought it was important to see the war outside of the capital. Do you worry that people are forgetting, not just people around the world, but people in Ukraine, what's happening close to the border in frontline cities?
Of course, I'm worried, and of course, all these messages they always come from our attitude to, I mean, from our opinion of our people abroad. So I mean that if we are losing this moment, very sensitive and very principal moment of the war, even some already deoccupied places, cities, towns, villages, if we don't feel the war, I mean that from one side is great that children, families, people, they love the life, and it's great because we are on the war because of the peace. So from one side is great that our soldiers each day bringing back to normal life our people. So they occupy step by step, place by place, village by village. But from another side, it's very dangerous. You know how is it? It's not because of the war. All the challenges what people have. If we are not preparing that tomorrow, it's a pity. But tomorrow we can be attacked by something, by Iranian drones at night and artillery at the day. And to hear alarm, siren, yes, and to hear and not to go to bomb shelter. I mean, that began to be нашою звичкою, yes. Our habit, yes. Habit.
To not go to the bomb shelter.
Yes, and that is the problem. It was with the COVID, you remember, from the very beginning, people don't believe. Then people, when we began to lose their parents, the old people, elderly mostly, and then they began to go with masks, everything, vaccine, and then again the new wave that okay, I can live, I had COVID, nothing is terrible. So today we have this moment, like the second wave of COVID. So it's okay, it's not dangerous, we will go. No, our drones, our air defense guys, they're working well, so we can go, and I think that is this message. People don't feel that this message goes straight to other people and then abroad, and that's why it's big problem, huge problem. If journalists, or I mean that if they are not here, that's why I think you reminded you came. If journalists are not here, if they speak in news, what they see video content, and they see images, and you see the center of Kiev, life came back. So it means not the first news, and if not the first news, it means not the first aid, yes, that we really need. But situation another.
It must make it difficult for you because on the one hand, as you
Yeah.
say, life in the capital
Yeah.
does feel quite normal, and that is good. That
But-
Kyiv is normal. At the same time, it must make you concerned that people forget.
Yeah, it's
about
not
this.
it's not normal. That is exactly what means modern war, today war. In the east, it can be hard, tough, everything. In Kiev, it can be very calm. Yes, not tough, but at night you can get, ballistic rockets. So that is hybrid. That means hybrid war. Sometimes it can be attacks, cyber attacks on economy situation. It will have big push, and you will not ever come back to normal life like it was with the water, with energy during all this winter. So that means yes, that we are in the war. And what is also very dangerous, people in normal life have to motivate soldiers, and it's very difficult because when you're on the front line, you have to understand that you have support, that you are fighting for the peace, but future peace, not for today's peace. And the soldiers, they have to feel that there somewhere there people also think about it, about soldiers. They go to the work, their job, and of course it's important because they pay taxes, and from these taxes we can buy something for security, something for these soldiers. Yeah.
I want to ask you where
Yeah,
you see the
please.
war going from here, but let me ask you a few things. First, you met yesterday with Grossi
Yeah.
from the IAEA. Do you feel like there are options for securing the nuclear plant that would be satisfactory to you and to Ukraine?
I don't feel it today. We began very in complicated circumstances. Our dialogue with IE,
IAEA.
yes,
Lot of acronyms.
with Grossi, with Grossi. Grossi is more simple.
Exactly.
Yes. We had it. So the dialogue was difficult because I said to him, they occupied it, the station. It began from not occupation. You remember, it was shots from artillery and different rounds to nuclear station, and I had that night I had phone calls and with Biden and with a lot of different leaders and with this institution and a lot of things, because I як бив у колокол, да? Як сказати, щоб
He was like saying that this is like very important.
Так,
thing.
я бив колокол з тим, щоб сказати, що вони завтра захоплять цю станцію. That tomorrow they will occupy it, and that's why we should very quickly, with all strong world political power, push Russians, because they will occupy stage. They occupied it, and then 500 terrorists been there, still there, and then they had a lot of tortures on professional and technical people, on staff. I mean that, and they killed someone, and someone been wounded, and someone been stolen because they didn't want to work on Russians. And you know that a lot of children of these people been deported to Russia. Yes, of these technical people. So what should they do? How they can live? Of course, they agreed to work because their children are there. Then they began to change their citizenship, their ID. So they did a lot of steps. But during all the steps, it's still, each day was very dangerous for all the world, not only for these people and for Ukraine, of course, but this is six blocks nuclear station, and it is 6 times bigger than Chernobyl and 6 times more dangerous than Chernobyl. And what I see after all this, really Grossi wanted to help, and it's true. Not only him, President Biden, and we also Emmanuel Macron. We spoke a lot of time, and but what we have some people. Then 2-4 people from Grossi, they work on this station. But people have to understand what does it mean nuclear station, like Zaporizhzhia station. It is the biggest in Europe, so that is the city. What does it mean for people? For people, it's even not real analytics. Of course, they do what they can. There are no questions to Grossi, I mean directly to him. But I have a lot of questions for United Nations and for his organization, because they have special mandate. Так і буде? mandate. Yeah.
Charter.
Yes, special charter. This they can do. This cannot do. Here they can come, but without, for example, journalists. When I spoke with him, because he wanted to go there, and I wanted him to go there from Ukrainian territory. Was my умови, як сказати?
Condition.
Yes, that was my condition. All I had conditions to grow him. What conditions I had that he will go from Ukrainian territory and with journalists. And I told him that you can take not Ukrainian journalists because Russian will be against. Okay, I said, take world journalists, European journalists, American journalists, doesn't matter for us, independent journalists, not even from Ukraine, but take somebody with you to show what's going on. And they didn't allow him. And I said him before it that you will not get there with normal company, with journalists, with understanding, yes, what's going on. And that's why I don't see how it will work, because the station now doesn't work. It's in dangerous conditions. The level of water, щоб охолоджувати,
To cool down.
is lowing down. Yes, lower than we need. So technically, it's not good, and we lost a dangerous. But you have to understand we're in war and we need money, and we lost a lot of energy and we lost a lot of money because it switched off.
So it sounds like you did not come out of this meeting yesterday feeling optimistic that there's a plan.
I'm optimistic if he's going there, it's good. With all the international organization, what I can say really openly, Grossi is one of that chiefs of such organizations. He really came, and he's coming sometimes, and it's good. I mean that, because if temporary you're coming, you can see what's going on. Minimum what you can do to control something, and that is good, because there are so many organizations. They say just by phone we are not allowed by Russians. That's why we can't come, but that is not the way. That's why we see the situation is not good. I think dangerous, and good that we have person there, our staff, but they are less than it been before.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you for that. Let me ask you about China. You've said that if China or any party wants to pursue peace genuinely, you're open to that. President Xi obviously just went to Russia and met with President Putin. Based on what you saw from that visit, do you think China is genuinely interested in negotiating peace, or are you skeptical?
I'm not thinking if what they're interested in or not. I'm sure that we need to involve as much as possible countries for our peace plan, and that is very important. And I don't know what's going on in China, and I don't know really with details their relations with Russia. I understand something. We all understand something, really, and our intelligence gave me time to time some information. That's why I can understand a little bit more than just ordinary people. But mostly, I'm not sure that their relations their relations will really how to say it in English? Yeah.
I can help.
No. I think that Russia lost the relations with all the world. What I wanted to say, and of course they want to hold something with somebody on the playing such primitive game as that the war not of Ukraine, that is the war of America, of West, That's why who are against to West, let be on our board. That so it's so it's not even children not play such games. It's so primitive. Yes, sometimes provocative, but very simple and not interesting. And after they finish their meeting, what we see that Russia gave messages that maybe they will think about nuclear weapon on the territory of Belarus. What does it mean? It means that the visit was not good for Russia. That real situation, and I think that the problem that he is not adequate, Russian president, and that's why he can't understand what's going on. Why even such allies, economical allies like China, why they are not so close to his messages, narratives, etc. We are not using the situation when they are not so close to use China. No. At the very beginning, from the very beginning, we raised up the topic of Budapest Memorandum. We have there, supporting обіцянки, як сказати? Promises, yes. Supporting promises from China. It was before the war, yes, full-scale war. I mean that we had such messages that, of course, they support territorial integrity and nuclear security and etc. That's why we just want to involve as much as possible adequate countries. And my message been to everybody. Of course, I know that United States, Europe, that's our strong allies, and some of these countries, more than allies, some of them friends, strategic partners, different, but really we understand that we are one team. But when we are speaking about the war, we need to even such countries which can't connect in real life economically or other views on something, or yes, and even with different view of the розвиток, цивілізований розвиток.
Development of the civilization.
Yes, even the future, yes. But we need to involve as much as possible countries. That is my message to China.
If you're looking to involve other countries, including China, do you have any plans to speak with President Xi or have him come visit you here in Ukraine?
I said that I want to speak with Africa countries. We didn't have good contacts with Latin America countries. We don't have so close. We began to do it with Africa. I had some conversations with some countries, with some leaders. With Latin America, I had with Chile and with President Lula, Brazil. I had, of course, I gave all the diplomatic and public and not public to President of China, to leader of China, and I want to speak with him. Because I had contact with him before full-scale war, but during all this year, more than 1 year, I didn't have, and I really wait when our teams will find the solution.
But no plans
yes.
at the moment.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Would you invite him here to Ukraine?
Oh yes, we are ready. We are ready to see him here.
Let me ask you, we've just passed the 1-year mark of the war.
Yeah.
And the world very much knows you now as a wartime leader. What has surprised you about yourself over this last year?
I don't know. This question is the biggest surprise. Yeah.
How about this? What has surprised you most about Ukrainians
People.
over this past year?
It's like with my children, relations with children. I think everybody who has children, I think they think that my children are so nice, so smart, so sweet, and there are no other children are so great, but mine, I mean that is real my attitude to to Ukrainians. I mean that I really believe. I know that there are different people, like in all the countries in the world. There are strong people and weak. There are good and not, but mostly, I know that there is some feature. Yeah, there are some features of Ukrainians. So they are very, very free, and we have problems with discipline. Really, in the life, we have big problems with discipline because, for example, me, I come always in time. When I have decision with somebody, I come and I have to wait, and I know that there are some questions with some details, but in this free, there is one very important sense. We love freedom, and you see minuses on one side, but there are big plus when you love somebody, like people, like children, like freedom. You are ready, really, you're ready to stay strong, strength people who are, you know, under you, positive, back to you. Okay, back up. I mean, who are near, yes, and you are ready to fight for freedom, and that's why it wasn't a surprise for me that people are ready to fight for freedom. But surprise was that we are so ready to do it so long. And I think that is a very important moment because, you know, there are many people in history, they began, you know, not began wars, they began to defend themselves, they began to fight with enemies, and they lost because somebody was bigger and more rich and etc. And but this situation, that was the biggest surprise, that we are, it's not, you know, emotional to defend the freedom. It's really in Ukrainians' heart. So it means that everybody, that we are ready to stay as long as we need. We need is longer than possible, and that's really what I see, and that is great. I don't know if it's surprise, but it's great surprise.
Yeah. Do you think at all about the impact of this war on the people of your country, though? All of the men who have had to go and fight, the children who are growing up in the middle of the war. Does the impact on the people of your country worry you?
Impact.
Вплив. Чи ви переживаєте через той вплив, який війна має на людей?
You mean that people changed?
Yeah.
Yes, everybody changed. Everybody. And that is the war, to find a lot of, you know, privileges of the war. We can't do it because, first of all, war brings tragedy, and the war takes people. So there are nothing good in the war. And of course, children without childhood, that without school years, without moments of friendship, moments of love, young people, because they are on the war. And of course, sometimes they found on the front line, they found each other there. That was great moments, weddings in the front line. But it's you know, a little number of such. Mostly that tragedy moments, what war brings and brought to Ukraine and brings to the world. And but there is only one thing what I want to underline. What is good, but not because the war came, because this war changed us, and that is a big challenge, and it could go one way to divide the country, or another way and to unite us. And in these two ways, I'm so thankful I'm thankful for everybody, for everything, for partners, our people. Thanks God, everybody. I mean, thanks that we found this way and this critical moment for the nation. I think this finding this way, that thing which saved our nation, and we saved our land. We are together, and that is great. There is unity in it. Yes, from also again from one side somebody can say that, but that is against, that is not with love, or something like this emotional, but it's only emotional. Really, for the life, for all the nations, I am sure that the main thing is unity, to be strong, because we are stronger than Russia, because they are not unity, because they have this patrici plebei. Yes, no, yeah,
Like they have
like in Rome.
strict hierarchy.
Yes, like in Rome civilization. Yeah, so and that's why that is really what means democracy. Very подорослішала країна.
The country grew older, like it become more adult.
Yes, yes, because nobody understand what does it mean independence.
Можна українською трошки відпочити, поговорити?
The practice. What does it mean independence? What does it mean the price, the cost of sovereignty, the real cost? And what does it mean democracy? It means to be a little bit older than young country, and this moment, I think in this moment it became to us, and we became, and that is very important.
How has the war changed you?
I think like everybody, зайві деталі пішли з життя.
He says that all extra details that were before are now gone.
So I really I was surprised that I need nothing. Mostly that, but I focused, and also very important to what do you see, how you see your future, what is important. The question is like, do you believe in God or not? That is the same question from position of rhetoric. What is important for you? To it bring me to, I mean, the position. It changed the position, and now I know what is important. And it means sometimes only old people understand what is important, because they see what was during their life. Oh, I can remember nothing, so nothing important. So for what I lived, and people can't find the solution with himself or itself. Yes, but for me, I know that important. Yes, that my home is important, and everything which is with my home, my God. Everything in my life, my country, my wife, my children and parents, and what is very important, when I say my, I mean that Ukraine, and I mean it's very important. Як сказати паркан англійською?
Fence.
Fence, very important. Who is your neighbor? Yes, very important. House near. It's important, because you trust or not trust. If something bad with somebody, will be bad with you. If you will help, somebody will help you, and all these very simple things which are important. With not so many, no cars, no
Can I ask you, we talked about this a bit earlier, your schedule is quite busy. You're traveling a lot, you're on the phone, doing calls. Do you get any time to relax? How do you take breaks? How do you unwind?
We have to understand what does it mean to have break. It's about, I think, moments of little victories. I think that is break. Yes, on the front line message, that's good. That is a break, some emotional moment, or phone call of my son. Is it victory for me? Yes. I have this break. He said something. He had competition at school, and he got the second place in wrestling, and it's very important. But my question is, how are you? It was painful or something, or I mean that just you relax during, and sometimes these 2 3 minutes can bring you to very adequate state, adequate state, and you can relax. Sometimes to see people like we've been here, and if somebody wants, just the question of the woman, can I обійняти як?
A hug.
Hug. She said, can I hug you? So I shake hands to men and to women, and I gave them different medals. And one of them, she said, but can I thank you that you hold us together, and can I hug you? And I said, yes. And that is also a moment that you can, what give us relax, something positive.
You get energy.
Yes,
from people.
yes, some
Yeah.
energy, and we can live. Yes, yes.
Can I ask about your children? How are they doing?
I think, like all the children, it's real that they became adults. It's real that my son, he's 10, and he's 10. He's almost 10 years. So he is the age of this war. All this war. My son, a real child of the war. I mean, and we have so many children like my son, and he all this time he lived in Ukraine. So he and I'm happy that he has so strong position. His position never changed, and that is our new generation. And I really believe in this. What we've did in this war, that's real thing. When you ask him, and I never told him that is our enemy. He knows, and he's not finding balance in some things. He's real Ukrainian. He understands who is enemy, who is hero, who are our friends on the front line heroes. He very understand. I think that is great, because he's so strong, very emotional, because the war, what bad things brought, that emotionally everybody's very emotional because of stresses, and that's real life. But what I see, that very strong man, not a child, it's a pity, but a man.
He's
From
almost
all
10.
but he's
Wow.
almost 10. Yes. My daughter, she's lady, she's 18 and a half, and so I'm knocking to the door. That
You're just hoping she'll pick up your phone calls, probably, at this point.
yeah. I know that. So she wants, she wants to have her. I mean that space.
Space.
Yes, that is her space, and I'm very careful with it. I know, because I remember me, and I wanted to have a lot of space because I'm very free, and I wanted to be free. For me, freedom was number one, from everybody, from parents to people who walked with me, and that's why I understand what she feels. That's why I'm very careful.
You may be president of the country, but you're still her dad, too.
Yes.
Let me ask you, I think it's fair to say that a lot of the world was surprised at how strong the Ukrainian military was at the start of the war, and I think people expected that Russia would be far stronger. Do you feel like the Ukrainian military can keep up this momentum as we head into the second year, and what do you need in order to be able to do that?
For everything, for every victory, we need only victory, because Otherwise, if we'll lose the country. It's real situation. That's why we need the victory. But when I say victory, it's not so simple, because to get victory, who always get a victory? Only very motivated people. And it's very difficult to motivate on the front line because you are tired. Soldiers tired, brigades tired, everybody tired. You have to change. Some weeks, and you have to change people. They have to have some rest, and there are wounded people, and etc. But it's so difficult. And one thing, even if you love your country, you have to be motivated always. And that's why we spoke about it at the very beginning of our dialogue, about the society, how they feel the wartime. Sometimes they feel that they're the peace, and no, it doesn't demotivate people on the front line. So the first category, I think, motivation, it's important. The same feeling, strong back. When our people are on the front line, and when the soldier is sitting, and if he knows that the bridge, yes, their enemy, and a lot of more than us, and I have only one bridge back, but I can't go back, because if I will go back, everybody will go back. But the problem is the bridge, because they fight and the rockets are flying to the bridge, and if the bridge will be broken, I will be killed, and nobody will give me some shells, additional the ammunition, so I will be alone without rounds, and they will kill me. And this bridge, that is our help of our partners. We need to have always this bridge, because we need to feel the support of Europe, the support of United States. Of course, that is political support. We understand how it's important, and it's motivate people who are deeply in the process, but emotionally, that guys which are on the front line, when they hear that there is no ammunition support, they feel that the bridge will be broken. Yeah. So, and this, even if it's not true, but it's demotivated, and that is the problem. We are stronger on the front line because we are on our land, and that is one of the facts of motivation. They are not so strong. They're people, ordinary people, Russians, but they are not motivated because they don't know why they are here. So each day we have to find help, support, and motivation for our soldiers. And when I said not very political, United States really understand that if they will stop, help us, we will not win. And there are, very simple things which we understand, which everybody understands. And sometimes you can't understand why, if the world understands what's going on from A to Z. Yes, if the world understands, what's the problem?
Does it worry you then that there is some debate starting to happen in the U.S.
Yes.
as we go into
Yes,
a
I'm speaking about it.
Yeah.
And I'm speaking about it because it's so, that it's so simple to understand what will be tomorrow. And it's so simple to understand how it can be if everything will be on the right side and the right way. So it's very simple that Putin is a loser for today. He lost everything. He doesn't have allies, and it's very primitive to see, especially for people with political experience and with intelligence, with details from their intelligence. Of course, it's simple to understand that China is not ready to help him. And it's very understandable that Europe can push with United States, Iran. And it's really very primitive to understand that without China, without Iranian help, he will lose. And the question is not in years, not in years. And it's also very understandable how it will be that when he will lose the support, not of society, the support of business, he will lose everything. They will change him. Without the United States, without, special agents, everything will be very quick, like this, in one moment. But it's very simple understanding. Nobody believed in us, it's true. And I'm happy, and I don't know whom to say thanks, that this right way joined and chosen us, not only we, right way. And that's why for today, all our steps forward, of course, our steps forward, it means Putin steps back from Kremlin, from his political decision making, and from leader of Russia. He will be, pushed.
But if something were to change in the U.S. position and U.S. support for Ukraine, you see all of that could.
I think for today, really, I understand that even if it will go such way like this, like today, really, we will win, but we will lose a lot of people because it will be more longer. That is simple. The number of brigades, and we don't have secrets from United States. They know all our ideas. The number of brigades, and the number of brigades has to be completed by ammunition. The number, very concrete number, no fantastic number of ammunition in very concrete dates. And each operation also consists of very concrete number of the dates, weeks, or months. That's all, not years. And we have these understandable for us directions, ideas for operations. And our partners, we shared with them our ideas. We can be on one side with some of the ideas, but we can have different thoughts that this is more dangerous, but that is normal because it's dialogue. And that's why I can't understand if we can finish the war during the year and we really can win, how dozens of years people will think, what will be with Russia? What is this? I'm sorry, what is a stupid question? We can't rule the Russian society, because Russian society is example, like the leader of Russia wanted to rule Ukrainian society and the societies of Europe, a lot of countries, and etc. And we know what's been in Afghanistan, in a lot of different countries on this, during this history. And that's why we have not to think now what to do with Russians. That from 2014, that is their problem and their question. He is the problem of their society, and they have to make decisions. They have to change. For example, when somebody say we can't, for example, take all the money from oligarchs of Russian which are frozen. Yes, we can freeze, but we can't take all money and give for renovation to Ukraine, because we have to find some solution, maybe to give half and half to freeze. And they found the answer to their question why they do and think such way, because we can't lose the connection with Russian business. It's я не можу.
You can say it, it's okay.
And it's really, yes, yeah. I think no. Yes, why that is? Because they have, and they will find, and they will change him or his opinion. That is their question. To take all their money, to cancel all the visas, to send their children to their country, they will change.
But why do the
Him.
US and Europe have not?
I'm
Can
very
we do
sorry.
2 more questions?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
I was about to say that you have been talking for 45
Okay.
minutes, so 15 minutes
15
more.
minutes more
Yeah,
is perfect.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
great. We'll get through everything. But the US and Europe have not gone that far yet. They've done sanctions, they've done some asset freezes, but they've not done everything that you're talking about here.
I think that the policy of European Union and United States, they have common policy, what I see, and that, to push but not to the end. I just want to send a message. If we will give chance to circle of politicians near President Putin and himself, if we will give them chance to renovate their policy, they will come back, they will occupy us, and they will not give change to Europe and to United States, to everybody, where they will feel power. I mean that they will not give chance, will not give. That's why it's normal. That is about rule of law. It's not about attacking their civilian people, even when they attack us. Because I'm addressing to United States, to European Union, to all the world. They have to push them, to push their business. They have to know that they will lose all their money, all these issues, all their real estate in Europe or in the world, their yachts everywhere. Turkey gave a lot of things, I think, to Russia. A lot of possibilities how to live out of the Russia, and I think that is a mistake.
There's been a lot of discussion about a Ukrainian spring offensive.
Yeah.
How critical do you think that is going to be to your success in this war?
I think they began everything, really. Of course, they collect, we understand even what they do and what the number, it will be big number, but they really used it already. They began using all this. They took from, Abkhazia, Syria, from all the borders of Russia. So totally, they lost their image of strong army. They lost everything, really, because they took the troops from all these regions where they saw their присутність.
Their presence.
Yes, saw their presence. They brought it to Ukraine. And of course, it's difficult for us. That's why my messages are, if they say that they are fighting against West on the territory of Ukraine, what can I say? Real situation that we are fighting against Iran, against weapons from Syria, against everything, against their Wagners, which are in many countries in the world. and what?
But the idea of a
But
Ukrainian spring offensive, how critical do you think that will be?
It's critical because the time, because we need defend things. It's so difficult. We don't have air. Still, we don't have. For example, we have great decisions about Patriots. Yes, we don't have it real. We have good decision that we will train our pilots on modern aircrafts. I mean that some Western kind aircrafts and different. I'm speaking about Eurofighters or Typhoons. It's not only about F-16. I mean the different, but we still don't have anything. And if we are speaking about the air defense systems, it's not only about Patriots. For example, we had decisions about some of them, and they are on the way. And I don't want. I mean, with all the respect to some European countries, but I don't want to say the name of the country because when it came, but it doesn't work. For example, we changed it again and again and again.
That's something that didn't work.
Yes, but that is the life. I mean that is the life, but we lose this life, and that's why I mean that somebody told me that bad decision. Some systems of Patriots you will have, but you are not NATO country, but you will be the first country not NATO who will have Patriots, and some of journalists and said to me, you have to be thankful, and it's okay, yes, at least you will defend your people. No, because we need 20 systems of Patriots to defend our sky from ballistic rockets. And even if we'll have such number, we will not be sure with you and with our partners, because no country in the world wasn't attacked by so many ballistic rockets and thousands of S-300, and so nobody had before us such not challenge, such experience. That's why there is no answer. Of course, I'm thankful for each air defense system, and I spoke with leaders about each air defense, and I had decisions with them about each air defense system. And every time people have to know I'm very thankful, but I'm realistic. We can't, for example, take all the air defense system to Kiev, because Kiev is not the Ukraine. Kiev is the capital of Ukraine, very important, but we have very big territory, real life.
One of the things you hear from officials in Washington or Brussels or in other places is, if the West gets more involved, if they give you more, then this will provoke Putin, and then we're in World War III. Do you buy that argument at all?
No. It's not arguments, because Putin is thinking, I think so, he's thinking, if he can, I mean, if he, in some moments, if he's adequate in some moments, I'm not sure, because I don't know, because he's informationally isolated person, and I think he's thinking how to get out from this. So, because from one side, I think his defense people will eat him, or FSB. At what moment they will feel the blood that he's not so strong, they will do it. That's why he's thinking how to be strong, how to defend himself. That is my opinion. And how to save, so find some solution. He was very strong and very principled, no solutions, no compromises, only Crimea, Donbass is mine. That is the real document of what I'm ready to sign up. That was, all this time, all these years. But after that, they killed so many people. There are no any solutions with him, and now he understands that he has such moment, and then let's think about nuclear weapon. If person wants to save himself, he really will use this. I'm not sure that he is ready to do it, but there is only one moment. But if he will feel again some blood from, smell that we are weak or western part, of course he will push, and when he is ready and when he will be strong, I think he can use everything, because I'm not sure again that he is adequate. Because what was the Crimea? It was such example. He took the Crimea, not the first days. If you remember, the first days they came to Crimea without the uniform, official uniforms, the soldiers. He's like як сапер, да? Як сказати?
Deminer.
Like the miner. He's, he was feeling what will be. Trying. What will be? One day, second day, something say, words nothing. Second, third day, then he said, it's not our people, that the decision of Crimea. I didn't have any soldiers there. He didn't see a strong reaction, and they don't respect. Russia doesn't respect weak countries, weak voices, and weak leaders. They don't respect. That's why they always bought such leaders, bought in all the countries, including Ukraine, and that's why West is more stronger than even sometimes some of leaders imagine, more stronger. And now we see the NATO stronger in unity.
Is this part of why you are fighting so hard in Bakhmut? Because a lot of military analysts will say that strategically it's not that significant.
Because that will be victory for him. He will
any victory.
Yes, he will sell this victory. He will sell this victory to West, to his society, to China, to Iran, to all the countries, to Brazil, to Latin America countries, not to Latvia, Litva, Estonia. Of course, they really understand, from details, and they feel this dangerous because they neighbors. But he will sell it to his society. That was the first step. Now, wait a minute. I will have decision with Ukraine. Then another step, and then he will, believe me, he will have solution. Maybe not official. After such point, he will have solution with many countries in the world, on every continent. He will have allies in the question to push us and push me. And how to push me? To push our society, and our society to find a way how our society will feel tired, will feel dangerous, will feel dangerous after nuclear weapon, and our society will push me to have compromise with them. That's it.
So there's a lot on the line in every single battle.
We can't lose. We can't lose the steps, because the war, it's a pie of such pieces of victories, small steps, because very big country, big enemy, big army, Russia, and small heart.
When you see those
Think about your last question.
Okay.
Because it's
Let me ask you the one last question.
Yeah.
This is maybe just a fun one. You've gotten to meet all of these. I don't know if you'll find it fun, but you've gotten to meet all of these world leaders over the last year. Spent all of this time with them. They've come here. They've ridden the trains.
Yeah.
Who do you like? Who have you bonded with? Who do you consider your friends among the world leaders?
Oh, it's very dangerous now to answer. But can I answer you after the war, after the victory? I will answer
Sure,
you.
you call me. I'll give you
Okay.
my number and you call
Okay.
me. Well, we really appreciate you taking
Thank
this
you so
time.
much.
It's very generous of you, and
Thank
I
you
think
so
it's
much.
really helped me understand
Yeah,
the war
great.
and you better. So we
Thank you.
again very much
Thank
appreciate
you.
it.
Thank you. You're welcome.
We may